Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we are going to make a dialogue system. Now, I received this request about 2 days ago, so thank you for requesting this because it's a very good idea. So let's get started making our dialogue system. First of all, let's go over to the Avatar tab and let's open the rig builder and let's just insert a random dummy. Okay, now that we have him here, let's go ahead and insert a part. Let's resize it to about 4, like this. And it's kinda big, so I'm gonna go ahead and just resize it to make it smaller, like this. Okay. Now that it's done, we can change the material to something like neon. The color to maybe, let's see, maybe something like this. Yeah, that works. Let's make sure it's anchored and let's turn Can Collide to off. Let's just rename it to something like touch part because that way it's easier to, it's better organizing basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert a new folder and let's rename the folder to interactions. Drag the touch part inside the interaction folder and insert 2 string values. Rename one of them to creator, the other one to dialogue. Just write whatever you want in both of them. In the creator, I'll just write NPC, and the dialogue can be something like okay, so I just made a random dialogue. Now that it's done, let's go over to our starter GUI and insert a screen GUI. Rename it to something like dialogue GUI. Okay, let's go ahead and insert a frame. Let's set the anchor point to 0.5, 1, like this, and the position to 0.5, 0.1. Oh, sorry, 0.5, 0, 1, 0. Okay. Actually, 1 and then -4. Okay. Let's set the border size pixel to 0. And let's just steal this color and let's change the color of this one to the same, like this. Okay. Let's rename the frame to container. Let's set the size to 0.2, 0, 0.15, 0. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and insert a new frame into it. Let's rename it to name frame. Let's set the anchor point to 0.5 and the position to 0.5, 0, and then -1, let me see, -0.125, 0, and set the size to 0.5, 0, 0.25, 0, and set the border size pixel to 0 as well. Let's go ahead and insert a text label into it and let's rename it to player name. Set the background transparency to 1 and the size to 1. I recommend turning on text scaled as well. Now I'm just going to change the font to this comic thing because it's easier that way. It's not easier, but it looks better. So yeah. Okay, inside the container, insert a new text label. Rename it to dialogue label. Set the size to 1 and 1 and set the background transparency to 1. Let's change the text scale to true and set the font again. Let's set the color to white. And let's insert a UI padding. Okay, let's do 0 to 5 on the top 3. And on the bottom one, just do 0.1. Good. Let's go ahead and select our dialog label and set the max visible graphemes or I don't know. Anyway, set it to 0 so it's invisible. Great. Now we are ready to do some scripting. Actually, just do one thing first. Select the container and set the Y position to 1.25. Now we can go ahead and insert a new module script. Let's rename it to Dialog Module. First, we need to get the tween service, which is the service used for animations because we want to animate our text. Let's also get our objects. First, we need the container. We also need the nameframe. We also need the player label. So let's just do nameframe, wait for child, player name. And we also need our dialog. Let's create a bool value. It is interacting. And let's add some configurations. Local time per character equals 0.05. Now this is something that you can change because the smaller it is, the faster our text will be writing itself. But the higher you put it, the slower the entire transition is going to take. I think 0.05 is a great number. I'll also make another one called wait time and set it to 3. So when the text is done being written, it will be displayed for 3 seconds and then it will disappear again. But you can change this. You can change it if you want. I don't care. So let's create a tween info. This is for the opening of our frame. Let's create our main function. Let's create the opening transitions or animations or whatever you want to call them for our container. We also want to play the animation, of course. And once it's completed, we want to start the text writing effect. Oh, sorry, I forgot to write 1 over there. Okay. And at this point, we want the script to know how long the writing animation will take, and we will get this time by getting how many characters are inside the dialogue and multiply it by time per character. Then we want to make a tween info one more time for that. I forgot one thing over here. Tween time. There we go. I want to make sure that the animation using style is linear because I want it to be the same speed the entire thing through, or whatever you want to say. Yeah. So let's create our writing on tween or animation. And once it's done, we want to wait the wait time. And then we can go ahead and close our entire thing again. So right now we're just creating the tweens for the closing animations. And once it's all done, we can set the is interacting to false again. Okay, that is our dialog module script. So let's create one more script for the handling of the touch ports. This is a smaller script, so don't worry about that. First, we want to get the interactions folder by just getting it from the workspace. We also want to get our module that we just created. you can see this creator value right here. It's not necessary if you don't want it, so you can just remove it if you don't want it for some of the interactions. So that's completely fine, but you need the dialogue because otherwise it's useless. Okay. Great. I think we can test now. Let's go to base plate, and actually let's just go ahead and clone this, move it another way, like maybe like this. Let's change the creator to something like Bobby, and let's make him say something. My name is Bobby, and that's about it. Okay, let's go ahead and see. So we have Bobby, and Bobby is writing, my name is Bobby, and that's about it. And we have a few seconds now. See, boom, it's gone. Let's go ahead and see with this NPC dude. The same thing happens. As you can see, I cannot just keep doing it, like abuse it, so that's good. But now I can do it again. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please make sure to subscribe and like the video. And just advertise my channel with your friends, because why not? So have a nice day.